All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our class for today. In today's class, we'll be talking about the iSAT. Mm-hmm. We'll be talking more, throwing more light about the PB Cambridge iSAT. But before then, I need to inform everyone that we are live. Okay. So I'm trying to make sure that I inform everybody that we are live right now. Hmm. We are live. Join today's class. Okay, so good evening once again, everybody. So in today's class, we'll be talking about the iSAT, the PB Cambridge iSAT, which is the internal scholarship aptitude test. I'm gonna share my screen with everyone so you get to have a glimpse of what I'm talking about, just like I did yesterday. Okay. All right, everybody. So I'm gonna share the screen now. Remember, we're talking about the iSAT today categorically. Okay, I'm gonna share the screen now. I believe you guys can see my screen. So yesterday we talked about the 6 steps to studying abroad. We talked about the 6 steps to being a successful international student, and we went ahead about the 6 steps, the 6 necessary steps that a student could should take in order to achieve a good result. And one of the steps we talked about is the guide aspect of it, which is where you know select your um programs. You get to discover your majors and your minors, and I went ahead to talk about the difference between the major and the minor when it comes to selection of courses. And then I also talked about learning. Learning is where you have to, learn about the international exams like the SAT, the IELTS, TOEFL, GRE, GMAT. So this is where you actually get to learn about these exams. After that, we have the building aspect. Oh, sorry, the O, which is applying to schools and selecting the university that is fit for you. And then after that, you get to build. We talked about building your funding as an international student, either through, you could actually fund your education either through scholarships, financial aids, sponsors. Your parents could sponsor you, your uncle, your aunt. One of these persons could actually sponsor you. So after that, we talked about the acceptance of schools, acceptance offer, admission, selections and everything that has to do with you accepting the offer that was given to you in a university. Then after that we talked about the launch. The launch aspect is where you actually have to go for your visa preparations, your guidelines, pre-departure orientations, and the rest of them all. So that was what we discussed yesterday, which I believe most of us understood what we talked about. So I'm actually trying to open this document, but it's taking a whole lot of time. It's not responding, so I'll have to open it directly from the email. I'm gonna have to open it from the email. Yeah. So we're gonna log into the email. All right. So we have the Word document here. Okay. This is not it. So I have to check back in. All right. So today I'm not gonna drop this document on the YouTube channel here on the YouTube channel. I'm not gonna drop it here, but I'm gonna send you a link where you could actually have an access to this documents. So the first thing we're gonna be looking at, as you can see in our content, we have part one, program architecture, the part two, iSAT teaching framework, the SAT, the ACT, IELTS, TOEFL, IBT, GRE, which is a general test. We have the GMAT, cross exam. Then we have exam academic skills. We also have the 8-week teaching calendar, diagnostic mock tests, and we have progress tracking. Then we have the official resources and format change policy. So the first thing we're gonna start is the program architecture. So we have the learning outcomes. Students understand at the end of this class, actually, students will have to understand the purpose, structure, and scoring logic of each exam they intend to take, be it the ISAT, be it the ACT or ACT, IELTS, GRE. You get to understand the scoring logic of each exam that you need to take. Then you also need to you will be able to identify question types and appropriate solving strategy. You will also improve your reading speed, comprehension, academic vocabulary, grammar, quantitative reasoning, data interpretation, and structured writing. You would also get to complete timed practice tests, review mistakes, and maintain an exam specific error log. Students understand that admission requirements vary by institution and program and must be verified with the institution. So you must understand that admission requirements differ from institution to an institution and from program to another program. If you are applying to Harvard University, their admission requirements when it comes to test scores could be different from Stanford University or Rice University or Dartmouth. So each institution have their various requirements for admission, and that's something you need to be cautious of. You have to be cautious of that. Then we're going to look at the recommended learner pathways. So basically, for undergraduate students, that's students that just got out of high school, or students that are still in high school and about to graduate, or secondary school, about to get into the university. You people are called the undergraduates. That means you just want to get your BSc for the first time. So, for undergraduate students that want to go abroad to study, you are called international undergraduate students. And your primary test as an undergraduate student is the iSAT, the SAT, or the ACT. And the supporting skills that you need to complement this test is academic English, math, and essays. Now, for your English proficiency for study, for your English proficiency test, you'll be needing the IELTS or the TOEFL IBT. In the IELTS or the TOEFL IBT, you'll be tested on your reading skills, listening skills, speaking skills, and writing skills. Remember, these exams are English proficiency tests. They're gonna test your proficiency in English language, and everything that has to do with English language involves or include reading, listening, speaking, and writing. And then we have the GRE, which is for graduate school. This is for people that have graduated from their undergraduate level. You have your BSc already, and you want to go for a master's, you want to go for a graduate program, then the GRE is for you. The GRE is going to test you on verbal reasoning, quantitative reasoning, analytical, and writing skills. That is what the GRE is going to test you on: verbal reasoning, quantitative reasoning, analytical, and writing skills. Now, for people that want to go for a business school, you must have been a graduate, of course, from your undergraduate level. Then you're going to write the GMAT, which tests your skill on quantitative reasoning, verbal reasoning, data insights. So, these are the international exams we have, and the various skills they're gonna test you on. So the next thing on our list is the ISAT. For the ISAT, we're gonna look at the PB Cambridge framework of the ISAT. Remember, the ISAT is a study. It's an exam on its own, formulated and constructed by the PB Cambridge team. And the ISAT is basically for secondary school students or high school students, which serves as a preliminary to getting to know more about international exams like SAT, ACT, IELTS, etc. So it is it is actually designed to measure academic readiness and your international study skills as a student in secondary school or in high school. So that's what the ISAT actually, that's one of the objectives of the ISAT. It is I would say is the is the PBK Reach Own Assessment to know how prepared and ready you are to embark on an international educational journey. So we're gonna look at the proposed iSAT blueprint. The proposed iSAT blueprint actually tests you on your reading and critical thinking. Now, under the reading and critical thinking, you're going to be tested on the main idea, evidence, inferences, vocabulary in context, structure, and comparison. Just hold on, let me put this in a PDF so you could see it clearly from here. All right. I'm going to connect this to the Google Drive so we could access the document from there. Just a few minutes. Okay, while that opens, while we allow the Lumin PDF to open up, we're going to proceed. So, in the chapter one of the proposed iSAT blueprint, like I said earlier, we have the reading and critical skill thinking. And under this, in the reading and critical thinking, this is where we have the main idea of the comprehension passage. You are being asked to find the evidence in the passage, the inference, the vocabulary in context, structure, and comparison. And then you're also tested on language and writing skills. And under the language and writing skills, you are being tested on your grammar, sentence boundaries, transitions, precision, organization, and editing. In the mathematics aspect, you are being tested on number sense, algebra, geometry, data analysis, and problem solving. In the academic English, you are being tested on vocabulary comprehension and practical academic communication. In the integrated reasoning, this is where you have short multiple step problems requiring students to combine information from test to test. In the chapter 2 of the lesson model, in the chapter 2 of the lesson model, sorry, I have to take this. In the chapter 2 of the lesson model, we this is where the skill in plain language is being introduced. And then we have the model one problem allowed, explaining the reasoning rather than only the the answer. That is, if you're given a comprehension passage and then you're asked a question, in some answers you're asked to give the reason for your answer, not just giving a direct answer. You're going to explain the reason behind the answer you're giving, and then you're going to solve a second problem together in one question. Then you also students are also given a timed mini set. You also classify errors as concepts, reading, careless, strategy, or timing errors. You also assign targeted practices. Now we're going to give an example here. We have an example here in the iSAT reading example. Example prompt of the iSAT. For instance, we have a passage idea. A university introduces a bicycle sharing program and reports that short car trips on campus declined during the first semester. What is the strongest conclusion? Remember, we're going to read this again. The passage idea is this: a university introduces a bicycle sharing program, and reports has it that short car trips on campus declined during the first semester. What is the strongest conclusion from this statement? The answer we have here is that the program is associated with a reduction in short car trips during the reported period. And why is that? The reason is because the university has introduced a bicycle sharing program, and that have affected the short car trips on campus. It has declined it. So the program that the university introduced on campus have affected the short car trips, has declined the short car trips on campus. Now, the wording associated with is safer than claiming the program definitely caused the reduction unless the evidence establishes causation. I'm going to explain this. Now, in the answer, we have the program is associated with a reduction. Here, as you can see, associated with a reduction in shortcut trips during the reported period. Now, we use the word associated because we do not have an evidence that it is the program that actually caused the reduction itself. That is why it is associated. You understand? And listen, in the sentence, it says that a university introduces a bicycle sharing program and reports that short car trips on campus decline. Now, this is a report, and that is why we are using the word an association. Now, a report is something that somebody, you know, is something that somebody, you know, tells you that this is what has happened. There is no evidence that actually this is what caused the decline. And that is why we use the word associated. The program is associated with a reduction because we do not have an evidence to back it up that it is actually the program that caused or led to the decline of car trips. So that's what you get to learn in the iSAT reading. Then we have the iSAT math. In the iSAT math, this is an example, and this is an algebraic example. This is an algebraic example. And the example we have here is, if 3x plus 7 equals 25, what is x? So we're going to find the unknown, and the unknown is x. So what do? The first thing we got to do is to, since the 7 here is a positive number, now we're going to move it to the left. We're going to move it to the left hand side, which is going to change it into a negative number. So we are subtracting 7 from both sides, which gives us 3s equals 17. So if we subtract 7 from 25, it's going to give us 18. And then we're going to have to divide 18 by 3. By the time we're done dividing 18 by 3, we're going to have 6 as our answer. And that means the unknown, which is x, is what? 6. And do you know, by the time you put this 6, by the time you add it back to 18, it's going to give you a total sum of what? All right, we have our unknown. So that is that for the iSAT. Now, before we head to the SAT, which I would want it to be a topic on its own, the iSAT is, like I said earlier, a preliminary test for secondary school students, especially in the rural area. It helps you to understand, to better prepare for the main SAT. And it comes in a competition form where we award students with study materials, cash awards, laptops, helping them to sign up as Education USA members. They get to become members of PB Cambridge, where they get to have a 2 month free tutorial class, just like you're having now. So, if you know you are a secondary school student, or a teacher, or a school principal, and you're interested in this program for your students, for your words, then try sign up for the iSAT competition. I'm going to show you how you can sign up for the iSAT competition right now. And I'm going to drop the link in this video. You'll be able to click on the link and sign up. So I'm going to show you how to register for the iSAT competition. So we're going to head to the PB Cambridge Consult. All right, so we are at the PB Cambridge Consult website. Now, if you want to register for the PB Cambridge iSAT, you click on this PBC iSAT. As you can see here, PB Cambridge iSAT zonal competition, and we have a total grand prize of 10 million. Now, the PB Cambridge iSAT competition is a Nigerian premier inter-school academic competition, identifying, empowering, and elevating academically talented students with real cash prizes, SAT prep, and study abroad opportunities. And if you want to register, you could click here, or you just click on iSAT portal. So we have our registration still ongoing, which ends on September 30, but we might have to extend it because of some students. And then we have the iSAT written assessment test that's coming up on October 15th. The score release will be November 1st, and award ceremony would be November 22nd. So if you want to participate and win, then this is a time for you to actually register. So I'm going to show you how to register here. You click on register now. So in the registration portal, you could decide to register as a school or as an individual. If you register as a school, you'll be getting some discounts for the registration fee. And if you're registering for as an individual, you can click here. And then if you're under 16, your parents should register for you as well. So the first thing you have to do is to create a school account. And that is if you're registering as a school, you create a school account, submit students list, select your zone. Are you in the southeast? Are you in the southwest? Are you in the south? Make a payment and receive your confirmation. So the registration fee for each student is 20,000. Yes, it's 20,000, and we're gonna have to change some price figures. We still have our old prices here. So let me show you how that is done. Register now. So on the PB Cambridge website, as you can see, what is on the iSAT, you have the reading and writing, the mathematics, science, reasoning, and test format. Then we also have the test dates, registration deadlines, score release, award ceremonies, and then we have the school registration and individual registration. We also have the practice where you could actually practice before the main exam. So you are right here on the PB Cambridge iSAT practice, you have the full length practice tests, and you also have the ACT prep books here. You could actually access them through the PB Cambridge. Now, if you want to access the material, the full length practice test, you're just gonna have to click here, and then you could actually send in your details, so you'll be able to access the practice tests. So that is that for the PB Cambridge iSAT. So the next thing we're gonna head on to now is the ACT, but I don't want this video to be very long. So for the main ACT, we're gonna have to start tomorrow to take our lectures properly concerning the ACT. So by tomorrow, I want you to get your books ready. But for the meantime, I'm gonna drop the PB Cambridge website here, where you can register for the iSAT competition that's coming up by October 15th. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. And once you register, you're gonna receive a confirmation email from PB Cambridge. So we've come to today's class have come to an end. By tomorrow, we're gonna venture into the ACT test proper. I mean proper. We're gonna venture books ready. Make sure your attendance in class is we're gonna take attendance. So make sure you share this video, like this video, comment, subscribe. Thank you very much, everybody, and see you tomorrow.